Wave. Oh, good boy. That was so cute. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another vlog with Maddie and Milton. So I'm starting this a little bit later in the day than I had planned. I was going to start filming in the morning, but it's now lunchtime because, you know, life is just sometimes like that. Later in the video, I'm going to be giving you a full breakdown of all the ways that your life and your daily schedule changes when you have to have a dog. Things you need to consider like potty breaks, meal times, play, exercise, all of that. So that will be later in the video, but for now I'm just gonna vlog a little bit of my day and show you what Milton and I do on a regular work day. If you're not already subscribed, remember to hit that button so that you never miss a new upload with us. And with that, let's get on with the vlog. Big yawn. Hi, bud. How's your day been so far? Good. Wave. Oh, good boy. That was so cute. Just ate my lunch, and now Milton and I are hanging out on the couch. I'm gonna go take him potty, which I have to use my lunch break for partially, so that's one thing you have to consider, because he hasn't gone potty since 9:45 this morning, so he has to go probably, right, buddy? Yeah. Down his stairs. Come on, bud. Good boy. We got the stairs for him so that he doesn't have to put as much stress on his joints when he goes up and down from the couch. This is super helpful to have if you own a Corgi, so I highly recommend getting one yourself. We just got ours off of Amazon. Got the leash. Now I just have to get the dog. Casually pacing around the elevator. Stay. Stay. Okay. Good boy. Right now we're really working on our leash walking, and one of the things we're trying to teach him to do is to not leave or enter the elevator until we tell him to. And he gets pretty good at it. Sometimes he forgets, but overall he is doing pretty well in that aspect of leash washing. Good boy, good potty. Just another hot Florida day, but it is nice out cloud-wise, so that's good. Where are you gonna go poop? He usually goes number 1 and number 2 in relatively the same spot, but sometimes he likes to change it up, and apparently today is one of those days. No, we're not eating leaves. Go potty. Also, sometimes he's very fast about finding a spot, and other times he likes to take, well, what feels like hours finding a place. Come on. Come on. Little reminder. Let's go potty. We didn't find a poop spot, but we did find another pee spot. All right. Oh, there's the kick. We did it. We found our spot. Good boy, Milton. Good boy. Kick, 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 kick. Wish I could have taken it longer, but man, it is so hot in Florida right now. It's probably at least high 80s, low 90s, and then with the humidity, it just feels so much hotter than it actually is. But the good thing about being a Corgi is that with his double coat, he stays warm in the winter and then cool in the summer. So I guess that's worth it for all of your shedding that you do. It's really not that bad right now though. I'm just being dramatic. You just as tired as I am, buddy? Yeah. He's probably gonna go lay down now. Oh, and there he goes. And he likes to lay by his water bowl too. Maybe so he doesn't have to stand when he drinks water. I don't know. Oh, sleepy bear. On the days that TJ has shoots and he's not at home, I try to take my lunch break around noon so that I can let Milton out, because by that time he would have been holding his bladder from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 4 hours isn't that long. I know he can hold it longer because he does at night, obviously, but just, you know, because it's during the day and he's awake and, you know, moving, I like to try to let him out in a decent time just so he can even get some exercise too. And that is certainly a struggle when you work full-time, is making sure exercise-wise that your pup is getting enough. So I try to sneak in little walks or little runs and just lots of playtime whenever I can, just so he's getting enough, which is very important. You can kind of see him back there, the little lump of fur in the corner. He is passed out napping after just like 6 minutes outside. It is so hot out here, like no joke, and that's proof of it. It is now time for me to head back to work, so I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll see you all in a few hours. Bye. Leaving work to go home and see Milton. The heat at this time is much more bearable since it's overcast, or not overcast, but the sun isn't as high, so it's way better walking outside than it was earlier when I took him out on my lunch break. Plus there's this really pretty garden, butterfly garden, right outside work that I walked through, and lots of trees, honestly, around here. Local trees and playground and such. Hey, you're in the camera, bud. You don't care. So I just got home from work a few minutes ago and now I'm gonna play with Milton for a bit and take him to the dog park before we make our dinner, so that while we're eating he can, well, not do this, not be crazy. Here's a rope toy. He loves this rope toy. Spin! Woo! This rope toy is so fun. It's like the least amount of work toy that will give them, in my opinion, the greatest amount of energy expelled. Maybe you'll pop it. Maybe you'll pop it. Maybe you'll pop it. Who will win, Maddie or Milton? I won. Haha. The huff of frustration. Somebody is passed out after our evening walk, which means that it's time to talk. So, as with some of my other videos, I have a list of different things that I'm gonna go through, all about how your schedule will change when you have a dog. So the first way that your schedule will change once you have a dog is having to wake up early to let them go potty. And this all depends on what your individual schedule is for your pup. Most of us work, and that means we have to get up early for work, and I specifically have to be out of the house by 7:45 to get to work by 8. And so you have to incorporate extra time in your morning routine, usually meaning waking up earlier, so that you can take your dog to the bathroom, which, depending on what you do, if you do a walk or if you literally just let them outside, can range anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes in the morning. And another aspect of both your morning and your evening routine that you have to take into consideration when you have a dog is feeding them, obviously. And that can also take a little bit of time out of, especially your morning routine, which is, more time sensitive than your evening routine usually. And with that, they also usually have to go to the bathroom fairly soon after they eat. So you then have to incorporate time to let them out before you go or before you go to bed. It's also important that you're giving your dog adequate time to exercise and go potty throughout the day. For exercise, this really depends a lot on the type of dog you have, but since I have a Corgi, I'll speak to that. And they say Corgis should get, about 30 minutes or more of exercise per day. This doesn't mean making them run for 30 minutes because of their joints. They're really not supposed to. But a combination of exercise. So, a nice walk in the morning, or taking them to the dog park, or playing fetch. Just some sort of exercise, and this will also make them a little less destructive too when they're exercised properly. And the other aspect that I mentioned is their potty routine. This also depends a lot on your schedule and the age of your dog. Typically, the formula for a puppy is that they can hold it for the amount of months old they are +1. So if you have a 5-month-old dog, the max they could hold it is 6 hours. Doesn't mean that they can hold it for 6 hours if you haven't trained them to do so, but theoretically they could. So for instance, at night, Milton sleeps in his crate, from 10:30 to 6 a.m., which is a little bit longer than the amount of time that he might be crated during the day, or, have to wait for potty breaks between the day if he's not in his crate. But that's also because we restrict his water before we go to bed to make sure that his system is mostly empty, so he doesn't really have to go until he wakes up in the morning, and he's sleeping mostly, so he doesn't really need water too much either during the night. But that's something important to note. So if you work full-time in person, which I have done a video on, and you can watch that right here. So if you're in that situation, you need to think about an opportunity for your dog to exercise or have a potty break during the day. If you can't personally come home during the day, on your lunch break for instance, to do that, you might want to look into enlisting a family member or a friend to do it, or using doggy daycare or an app like Wag or Rover, both of which provide those services, so that your dog can get the break he needs when you are gone all day. It's also important when you are winding down for the evening or getting home for work that you give your dog enough time for socialization, exercise, and play. So if you are gone during the day or just busy like most people are, you probably don't have a ton of time to do that during the day. So you need to make sure that during the evening you're getting some of that done. Doesn't mean you have to do all of it at once. Like one evening I might do some training with Milton, another I might take him to the dog park, or take him on a long walk. But just so that they're getting a continuous rotation of those things, especially when they're a puppy, is pretty important, and that can eat into your evening time a little bit. So that's something that you should also consider. And when you're thinking about your daily schedule as a dog owner, you also have to incorporate a training schedule. So this is where a dog trainer really comes in handy, at least just for the start of things, because they can help you figure out what things you should be focusing on with training your puppy. So for instance, the big things that Milton is still working on are his leash walking, his potty training, which has gotten significantly better, and general puppy craziness, like sometimes biting our feet and shoes. So just continuing to set those boundaries for him are the main things that we're working on. And you have to remember to do your homework, essentially, because if a trainer teaches you something and you don't reinforce it, your dog's going to forget everything they learned. So you need to have a training schedule incorporated in your daily routine. And I mentioned this earlier, but I'll just reiterate it again as a second point. Whenever you're cooking your dinner for the evening or your breakfast, your dog's meal times come with that. So you just need to remember to feed them, basically. And finally, I feel like this is a point that can vary a lot by person, but it's also something that a lot of us wind up in situation-wise, is what happens when your dog gets sick or injured and they need to go to the vet and stay home and recover afterwards, and you need to be with them. So the most common example is like when your dog gets neutered or spayed, you need to be with them for a bit afterwards to make sure they are fine recovery-wise. That will most likely eat into your vacation or your sick time, more than likely your vacation time, unless you have company that allows you to use sick time for dog related things. For some people that is a real deal breaker because not a lot of companies give a ton of sick vacation time. Thankfully mine is pretty generous, but still, you know, just the thought of having to use that time that I've accrued for something related to my dog can be difficult to fathom, but it is the reality. You know, they get sick and hurt just like we do, and you have to be there to take care of them, especially if you're the only one. And that is honestly it. I didn't have too many points. I think I hit most of the major ones, but if there is something I missed that you've noticed has impacted your daily schedule since owning a dog, drop it below so we can share advice with other people who are looking to get a dog or are just entering this dog owner, puppy owner world. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, subscribe, give that thumbs up so that we can continue to share our dog owner journey with you. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Milton's sleeping, but say bye, Milton. Bye.